Certain scale that I use, you probably know it. I'm not sure what it's called, maybe Hiro Joshi or one of those things. You don't even know the name. And it's what it is. It's just taking 5 notes instead of. I mean, you're skipping some of the notes. So let's say if you're, hey, you can hear me better now, can't you? If you're playing, let's say B minor, or you want to play B Hiro Joshi or whatever it's called, you play 1, 2, minor 3rd, and then you skip the 4th, go to the 5th, and play the flat 6th. So those are the only notes you play in the scale, so you play. Yes?
You probably get
There's a video camera?
Yeah.
Got a close-up, would you, Mac?
Okay, Max.
That's an idea. Oh, okay, so there's going to be a videotape that you guys can go watch.
Yeah.
Oh, great. I better not pick my nose. I was secretly... Oh, it's got forever! Anyway, you got that?
Close as I can.
If you wonder what the sore on my knee is, I can't swim, so I went to water slides one day, and we got down to the end, and there's nothing I hate worse than my head underwater. So with all my might, I put my knee down right under the cement, scraped it, and I'm a big scat picker, so I picked it, and now it's infected. So it's not anything weird. So B, C sharp, D, F sharp, G. Only the most comfortable position for me is. Gives it kind of a Japanese flavor. So it's just 5 notes to remember. It's just a different way of arranging the notes. Also, another cool thing to do to that is weird bending things. Like, say if you're going like this, it's a different position. So, say if you're going F sharp, G, B on the 3rd and 4th strings. F sharp, G, B, D flat, and D. You could either go, or you could bend up from there, or if you want to get really sick, you can bend up from a note that isn't even in the scale. It's kind of weird. It makes it, when you first hear the mistake, people go, what's that? But then you bend up to the right note. And they go, so. It's kind of a different flavor. It gives it more of a human touch, because a computer could probably play that, but. That's the whole concept behind that. Phrasing? Alright, I have a clue as to how to phrase. No, phrasing. That's you know, it's funny that I said that because I don't know how to explain it. Well, basically, it's just a matter of practicing, just practicing being in control. You know, I spend like at least an hour a day working on playing slow. It's funny, a lot of people start playing fast, although you probably couldn't tell by when I played it first. A lot of people play fast and they take the slow part for granted, you know. And that's actually the hard part. Once you learn the fast, is to work your way back down to playing slow. And they usually come up with bands like, you know, they get finished with, you know, that whole thing, and it's hard to, you know, it's kind of a, not too cool. But basically, it's just a matter of really practicing and caring about that part too. That's see, in phrasing, it's kind of a rhythmic thing with me sometimes. Practicing, just hearing rhythmic things instead of hearing everything 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, or da 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 da. It's kind of cool to, you know, either mix notes up or play different timings, or say, okay, I'll take the exercise da 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 and leave out of this note or this note or this note, and kind of gives you a different aspect of the scale. Gosh, that's a hard. I wish you didn't say phrasing, because I don't know how to explain that. It's just a luck thing. I guess phrasing is kind of whatever is inside you. The board.
No.
Sorry about that. Oh, condemning this guy. Sorry. Gosh, that's a really hard one. You just got to practice it and actually care about slow playing and melodies and stuff, which I'm taking lessons from a couple guys now, and it's kind of a never-ending battle, you know, playing good and original. So it's a good question. I'd say the best thing for your phrasing is to just, I don't know, care about. Listen to Jeff Beck. Actually, is the best thing for your phrasing. Okay, pentatonic. Everyone knows what pentatonic is, right? Pentatonic scale. So basically, let's see, we can stretch that out and make it a little longer, because some people have trouble, you know, playing that fast, or playing, I mean, they get used to, you know, doing the whole up and down thing. So a cool way to look at it is just to rearrange the notes in the scale. I mean, play the same ones, but kind of stretch them out so you can get more notes per string. Sorry, I'm freaking. But that's the basic idea. Well, all it is you're taking the same notes. E, G, A, B, D. And just taking, actually, quite honestly, it's taking the D, playing it here instead of here. So it's just playing on the 6th and 5th strings. And then you're just taking the same thing and repeating it, starting on the E on the 4th string. And then you start on the E again on the 2nd string. So the concept is pretty simple. So I guess the trick is to make it not sound like a 5 lick, although that might be cool. So I think you can take that starting with any of those notes. Start on the D and do the same thing. D and E on that string. G, A, and B on that string, and then it's just a matter of repeating those. You can start on B and the whole thing. Actually, there's no rules. So. Yeah, that's the idea. But yeah, it's more pentatonic stuff. Another cool thing to do is rearrange the notes or skip some notes and make it stranger, actually. Let's see, like, that's a pentatonic, like, it's all it is A on the 1st string, pull the E, up on the D, B, G, E. So, you're all sitting there going, why am I here? I'll just wait for the video. But, I'll do more playing later, I guess. But that's pentatonic. All you're doing is skipping like the G and the A here and there, so it makes it sound kind of weird, but it's still pentatonic. Not special, but it's kind of cool. Oh, also here's another one that's, believe it or not, is pentatonic. If you ever played in blues, that guy's gonna get mad at you. Rightfully so. Let's see. This is just all pentatonic. E pentatonic, by the way. You got this? Hit the fingers. Yeah, you. No. A on the 5th string. I guess I should talk to the video. A on the 5th string. B on the no, I'm lying. A on the 6th string. B with your first finger on the 5th string. I guess that's F sharp. No, that's not. I'm lying. That's E. E on the 5th string. Then G on the 4th string. A on the 3rd string. Then D on the 3rd string. So basically, so far we got. Lovely new tuning I've come up with. Then E on the 2nd string. G on the, how should I say, 1st string. And then the 7th, which is D on the 1st string. So basically the whole thing. My bends lately. So that's that lick. Now the video got it. It's more of a, let's take this lick. And it's just taking, instead of doing an E, it's taking, it's substituting the E with G here, so, and repeating that over. And then taking that and sliding it up. Sliding up and down pentatonically, staying in the scale. And if you want to, and actually the way I pick it is kind of a different way. It doesn't make sense. Like it's some kind of accent that makes it a little more, gosh, I'm just not going to get used to it. It makes it a little more, I should say aggressive. So instead of, so I guess I do it, I never thought about it. Down, hammer, up, and then down. So I get this up, down thing. So it sounds kind of aggressive. Even when a wimp like me is playing. And then you can change strings, only if you want them. And the way you change strings is just pick the G and just make it a whole pull-off thing. So basically, my own. You think of it in terms of instead of like sometimes people do 6 notes at a. You can divide it into groups of, I should say 5 instead, and it gives it kind of a weird, different flavor. So you go down, let's put in an E, so it's the same. You go down from the G, G, E, D, B, A, and then you go back up. It's just like kind of one of the, one of those exercises, only it's pentatonic stuff. And it's in 5, so you go down 5, land on the A, and then go back up to E, play 5, and then back to D, pentatonically, and then B. So it gives kind of a different. Gosh, it's ready. It gives it a little different flavor. I thought I would show you one of my favorite licks. It doesn't necessarily sound good, but it looks pretty neat. Okay, let's see. It's a basically a scale. Let's take this part of D major. Let's see. 6 notes. Actually, let's take it up here. On the 12th string, everyone knows. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B. Okay, so it's just taking the exact same notes and rearranging them. So let's start with the B, go to E, up to G, F sharp, A, D. So the shape is kind of, the first three notes are right side up triangle, next three notes, upside down ones. So it's the same note. Gives it kind of a different feel. Gives it kind of a, I use my middle fingers, I can't do it fast enough up and down, so kind of a, and if you want to get really sick, you can skip a string, only stay in the scale, note-wise. So that would be, but yeah, December. Here's a lick that looks awesome, but it sounds like fucking shit. It's looks neat though, huh? Look at a video, I'm gonna have to really have to. Okay, arpeggios. Let's see, basically, where should I start? Okay, how about if I just start with basic arpeggios, 1, 3, 5, 6. I guess I play them a little differently than a lot of guys, so might be a fresh little thing. How do I play? Okay, let's start with, how should I say, A major. There are 3 basic patterns when I'm not thinking and I just go on autopilot that I use, which I've been on autopilot since I got here. And it's just the easy way out, kind of. It's, okay, I'll just show you. So that's, concept-wise, is real simple. I'm playing 3 notes over and over and over. Probably most of you guys are going, show us something new. We got up on the 12th fret, E string, and then pull off 3 frets back. And all the time, this hand's relaxing. Gosh, I wish I knew how good you guys were, so I'm not embarrassing myself. But anyway, I'll proceed. And then up on the A, so it's just, you're repeating these 3 notes over and over. And then up on the E, and then up on the, how should I say, D flat, or C sharp. And then up on the A, and then down on the E, and then hammer the A. Sorry. And then down on the D flat, down on the E. Okay, I'm sorry. Down the A, down the D flat, and continue. So basically. Basic idea of that, behind that thing. And then the next one is, it's a little different. This is the one that's kind of different from anyone else. It's same notes, only it's up on the A, pull off the 12th fret. And you use your 3rd finger on all 3 of these. D flat, A, E, and then you pull off on the 4th string to D flat, and then down on the A, down on D flat, hammer the E. So the reason I do this, as opposed to, is because you get this extra bonus lick, which is, I can't really do that in that way. But I think it's kind of another aggressive, that's the up-down thing again, the thing that doesn't make sense, it takes a little getting used to. I guess bebop players have that down, and I'm telling you something that you already know. But anyway, so that all that is down on A, down on D flat, hammer E, up on A, down on E, and if you want to repeat it, you know, do the double thing. You're yawning. Are you bored? Are you sure? Okay. Do you know this already? Oh. Do you want to know it? What? Oh, you're not a guitarist? That's cool. How many people aren't guitarists? That's wild. That's really cool. It's funny because I go to shows and I do the same thing all guitar players do. I sit there with my arms crossed and just watch. But when I'm playing a show, I hate those guys. Fuck, get out or have fun, you know? And it's funny because you see them, you look down, you catch their eye. Oh, great, you know. And then I become self-conscious, I start fucking up. And when I fuck up, I look at them. And they got their arms crossed, and they look over their girlfriend. It's funny though. Oh yeah. And if you wanted to do a double time, just do the last part twice. And you want to make it seventh. Yes. Put a seventh. And when you get real funny, stick it, instead of A's, play B's. And then stick a B minor. Suck like that. Oh, and the third pattern is for A major. Starting on the D flat. Same basically. And then play on the A, up on the E, up on the D flat, up on the A, up on the E, down on the D flat, then hammer the E down. It's so easy. I'm embarrassing myself, but stick the exact same three notes at the end. D flat, A. If you want to make it longer, stick the A. Actually, if you're wanting to play like classical type stuff, it has a nice effect. So yeah, that's. So what you're doing is you're using this one, and you're switching to the second arpeggio, and coming back to the other one on the third string. And for minor, it's the same thing, only every D flat becomes C. Which I never forgot, but I have it on tape, so I'll forget it. I learned each part, there are two parts happening. And I learned each part backwards, so I'm going to play it backwards and flip the tape over, and then it'll be forwards, it'll be a nice melody that doesn't surprise you. It'll be a nice classical melody on it, and be going, you know, which will be kind of a weird thing. Let's see if I can play this. Actually, I can tell you the progression of that. That's pretty common. It starts with D. I'm just following arpeggio-wise. It starts with D major. And then goes to G major. Gosh. And then it goes to A major. And it goes to D major. And then F sharp minor. And then B minor. C minor, A flat minor, and then E flat major, and then D diminished, and then C minor, C diminished, G major. So that's the classical progression. You can go back and watch the tape and laugh. It's just one lick played harmonics and just 7 tracks of that. No different harmonics. No one with just that layer on top of each other. Kind of a cool idea. Yeah, I guess that's kind of a bar trick, is it? All right. Did I think of it first, though? All right. So there's your answer. Any more questions? Yeah, there were harmonics. I just got phrase. I record it, I say, I don't like that, and I start learning new things, and I forget it, and then I do things like this, and people say, could you play that off your record? And I can't do it. I simply can't. And same with students back home. Play me, teach me this, and I simply can't do it. It's pretty weak. I guess it's because I never had to play the instrumental stuff live. This is really innovative, I think. I'm working on it. The trick is you got to put your pinky behind the neck. Actually, now I'm probably going to play my coolest thing I play all day, and you're going to miss it because you're turning the tape over. It's funny, on my solo, gosh, I'm spitting. I'm farting and spitting on the people in the front row. I'm sorry. Next time I'm the front row is going to be way back. Oh yeah, on my solo record, on the end of Mabel's Fatal Fable, you know that weird melody that's kind of backwards? If you turn it over and make it backwards, you'll see it's the beaver. See, done in minor seconds, minor seconds, yeah. And it's a pretty sick thing, but I put it on the end. It was just kicking. It was the funniest thing. It was oh, they add the harmonies from hell. Let's see it. I can't even play it. It's too hard to play, but it's actually, yeah, let me think. How would I play that? You know, it was just sick, but it was so cool. I mean, it was the sheer comedy of it. And Mike Varney said, no, we might get sued, we might get sued. You're sued from what? A beaver? Come on. That's cool. Mike Varney's really, the cool thing about Mike Varney, though, is he wasn't there for like one note of the record, pretty much. With my solo record, he said, go in, go play. So I went and made a record. And that's what's really cool about him, is he lets you do what you want, except for cop things like that. But actually one time he did come in, and it was so funny. He brought in some guys from some guitar company for them to check it out, and see if I wanted to play the guitars, or if they wanted me. Sorry. So we were right in the middle of doing Dweller in the Cellar. This is probably the weakest tune in parts, but and it came to like the droning thing that keeps going. You know, that sick part. And that's the first time Varney had heard that. And Varney was leaning against the wall going, oh. He was bummed. And he started explaining to the guitar companies, you know, this is not really what it's like. I mean, this is like a weird part. It's too outside. Well, what do you mean? It's kind of cool, you know. He said, I'll never forget. Oh. He was bumming. It was funny. But that's cool about Mike Varney. But it's too bad because that beaver thing was really cool. And then there's. Man, one thing I'm not is a tapper.
sixth string,
6番線5フレットから始まって、
and you hammer on the D flat on the same string,
同じ弦の、9フレットをハマーオンします。
and then pick down on the E on the fifth string,
5番線7フレットを今度ピッキングします。人差し指です。
and then hammer the 12th fret fifth string.
5番線12フレットを小指でハマーオンします。
Oops, I skipped one.
一つ飛ばしました。
Okay, so this. Hit the sixth string. I mean, fifth string, sixth fret.
その前に5番線6フレットを一つ弾きます。
Then
それから
slide up.
人差し指を滑らして7フレットを弾きます。
Right. Okay, and then hammer the.
それから12フレットを小指でハマーオンします。
And then down on D flat on the fourth string.
それから4番線11フレット薬指弾きます。
And then ninth fret third string.
3番線9フレット人差し指。
8th fret and then slide up to 9th fret.
これも最初に8フレットを押さえて、それから1フレット滑って上がります。
And then 10th fret second string.
2番線10フレット中指。
And then
1番線9フレット人差し指と。
And then 11th fret, 12th fret, 11th.
1番線11フレット、12フレットを薬指、小指で押さえます。
And the same thing all the way down.
同じ形で戻っていきます。
And the whole thing.
こんな風になります。A major flat fifth?
A major flat fifth.
これは A メジャーフラットフィスのコードのアルペジオです。
Okay, let's change that arpeggio. The nice thing about arpeggios is you can change the whole mood by changing just one note.
アルペジオは音一つ変えるだけで全然感じが変わります。
Let's change it from major to instead of playing the major third, we'll play the second of A major. The second of A major.
The same position, but only the third.
It's almost the same arpeggio, only we're just taking one note.
The third note is
the
second.
Right. So every time before when we played D flat, instead we're going to play B this time.
I see. 第3音が全部1音下がって第2音になります。あとはさっきと同じポジションです。
Okay, so it's sixth string, fifth fret.
6番線5フレット。
Seventh fret, sixth string.
6番線7フレット。
Then slide up just like we did on the last one.
さっきみたいに
7, 12.
5番線6フレット、7フレットを人差し指が滑って、
This time play B instead of D flat.
12フレット、5番線12フレット弾いてから今度4番線9フレット中指。で次また3番線8フレットから9フレットへ人差し指が滑ります。2番線10フレット中指。
And then up to B here.
1番線7フレット人差し指。そして1番線11フレット、12フレットを薬指、小指で押さえます。
And our first story tonight will no doubt inspire you. Jason Becker has been doing just that since he was a little kid. And even though Jason can't speak and he can't move, anyone who knows him says his career has just begun. 10 years ago, Jason Becker was hailed as one of the best rock guitarists in the world. But today, his music is locked inside his mind, trapped in a body that once entertained the world.
Jason wrote so much stuff over the years that even if he never wrote again for years, he has enough for a few more CDs. But it's pretty cool to still have his music out there kicking.
When he was 5, Jason's father, Gary, gave him his first guitar, and he never put it down. At 13, he could play note for note with the best.
I gave him the opportunity, but he had that himself inside. You can't get that. You can't buy it. You either have it and want it and stuff. So he had examples, but the fire was within.
By his late teens, he had already released several albums, and at 20, he landed the biggest gig of all, lead guitarist for the popular David Lee Roth Band. But just a week later, it all came crashing down.
That was hell because of what I thought he was going to lose. And it seemed just very unfair and cruel. And it just ripped our hearts out.
Jason was diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease, a paralyzing neurological disorder.
But I'm sure any parent might be able to look at their child and try to visualize it. But yeah, I think that's the worst thing that can happen to a parent, is something happening to their child.
Even though his fingers were slowing down, he finished an album that later went gold. Doctors gave him only 3 years to live. A decade later, Jason is still going strong.
I've read his fan mail over the years, and he's an inspiration to a lot of people, including a lot of people that have said, you know, gee, I felt like committing suicide, but when I read about you, I'm going back and living my life.
Jason requires around-the-clock care from his loving family and friends. He communicates with his eyes.
It's basically a grid system that just puts the letters of the alphabet in a certain place in space that we have memorized. So each letter has 2 eye movements that Jason gives me, and I call off the letters and then the words when I understand what I think he's saying.
Learning the system was easy. Jason says accepting it was the hard part.
To S-T-O, stop. Stop you using voice. Yeah, it was very easy for him once he stopped fighting it because he didn't want to stop using his voice.
With the help of a computer and those passionate eyes, Jason is composing once again. He's already composed a music video, and Raspberry Jams, a CD full of his old music, was just released. His music struck a chord with the acclaimed Diablo Ballet, and tonight they're performing one of his songs. Lauren Jonas, the company's artistic director, is a big fan.
He is an extraordinary human being, and he's always inspired me, even when I knew him before he really got sick. Just his music was it's just phenomenal, and what he's done with his life and how he proceeds and his positive demeanor and the beauty and the artistry that is inside of him and that we all get to share is just extraordinary.
Jason's mind is still filled with music, and it's up to those passionate eyes to share it with the world. Jason's new CD, Raspberry Jams, is in music stores all around the country. It's totally inspiring music, and you'll hear so many different styles of music, not to mention a ton of Jason's spirit.
But it's been 3 years since we first told you about Jason Becker.
Jason is a gifted musician who must struggle just to stay alive. But years after doctors had given up on him, Jason, who is now 30 years old, is doing much more than simply living.
You know, in fact, in many ways, despite the obstacles, he is thriving. Let's bring you up to date. Becker is a man at peace. Yes, disease has ravaged his body, but his mind is sharp and full of music he wants the world to hear. This remarkable man can no longer move or even speak, but he can still touch those around him with his eyes. Jason's story begins when he was 17 years old and cut his first record deal. In a matter of months, Jason became one of the most critically acclaimed rock guitarists in the world. This home video shows his trademark, playing guitar with one hand, yo-yoing with the other.
He was able to do things technically that no one's ever been able to do. Every great guitar player that's seen Jason just, you know, he's awe-inspiring.
In 1990, Jason was lead guitarist for David Lee Roth and helped write his gold record, A Little Ain't Enough. That same year, though, when Jason was just 19, he was diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. It is a neuromuscular condition that would slowly take away Jason's ability to control his body.
The first couple of years was just, you know, it was just unbelievable. Hell, you couldn't even hardly function, but you had to, because Jason he didn't care. He was busy with his career.
When Jason could no longer play guitar, he began composing on a keyboard, first with two hands, then with only one. And when his hands no longer moved, Jason turned to a computer. His friend and music producer Mike Beamisdorfer adapted a program so that Jason could compose, one note at a time. Jason wore a visor with a sensor on top. When he moved his head, the sensor moved the cursor on the screen. When Jason opened his mouth, his chin clicked the mouse.
I don't know of anyone else that can do it in the way that he does it. This ability to visualize, hear an entire piece, an entire record in his head, break it into its component parts, and then play them one note, one part at a time into the computer.
After 5 years of painstaking work, Jason hired musicians to play his music and finished a CD and music video called Perspectives. But Jason's health was getting worse. Soon after we visited him in 1996, Jason says his doctor expected him to die. But Jason wasn't ready. Doctors inserted a tube in his throat to help him breathe, and after months of tender care from his family and friends, he actually began to feel better. But Jason could no longer speak.
Hey, I was totally afraid to not be able to communicate with him. There's so many things he needs, if nothing else, to alleviate pain he might have.
Jason's father devised a communication system using an alphabet board and simple eye movements. Now, Jason can spell out his thoughts with his eyes. His friend, Serena Casamali, is our interpreter.
Do you hear new music in your head still?
S-O, so, M, so much, I, T, it, D, R, drives me nuts.
Jason now lives in a home next door to his parents in Richmond. The teachings of an Indian guru have helped him find inner happiness.
So, Jason, despite some of the physical challenges, you're telling me you're relatively content?
D, E, definitely. Don't, G, E, don't get me wrong. A, L, ALS, S, U, sucks.
Incredibly, Jason's career is still moving forward. Warner Brothers will soon release his CD, and tomorrow, the Diablo Ballet will perform to his music at the Concord Pavilion. The dance was choreographed by Nikolai Kabaniev.
Just little dolls.
It's a full orchestrated piece with an electric guitar solo. And what he's done is he's taken a male dancer to represent the electric guitar portions. And you can just see with the dance, the music.
As his career was going so well, you must have been very proud of him. But I imagine you're as proud, if not more proud now, at the way he's handled this adversity.
Oh, He's unbelievable. I mean, he's the ultimate optimist. He just, nothing stops him.
He's an amazing guy, and a privilege to be with him, I can tell you. Jason Becker's music has been chosen to kick off a year-long celebration of the arts in Contra Costa County. It starts with that performance by the Diablo Ballet at the Concord Pavilion, as we told you, tomorrow night. The show is at 8 and will be followed by fireworks, and it is free, except for the $7 fee for parking. Well worth it if you'd like to go.
What an amazing individual,
He really
and
is.
absolutely an optimist.
He really is, and you can see, as you talk to him, the joy on his face,
Right.
even, and that he expresses with his eyes.
That he
He's
is
got
still so
trouble.
lively.
He is very lively. He still has trouble, but he is very optimistic.
Great story, Dan. Thanks.